January 2025 is set to be an exciting month for gamers, with a lineup of highly anticipated releases, remasters, and new adventures on the horizon. Let's take a moment and dive into each major release and explore their standout features and see what the gaming community is saying about these games. Hello everyone, and welcome to another What's Coming Up in 2025, January 2025 edition. My name is Brian. If you happen to be new around here, if you enjoy the content that I make, if you like how I approach things in my content, be sure to give a like, leave a sub if you haven't already, and sound off in the comments if you do find that sub button so I can welcome you guys to the channel, just like Eric and Fraggle Glass. Welcome in. We're going to kick this off right with January 1. By the time you're actually watching this video, by the time it is ready to rock and roll, January 1 is upon you. So happy new year to each and every one of you. Kicking off this year, we have Wuthering Waves launching on the PS5 alongside its significant 2.0 update, introducing Renacasta, and I'm going to butcher some words. I do apologize. Buckle up. Here we go. This expansion is going to offer a vast new area filled with various different landscapes, challenging quests, and enhanced graphics tailored for next-gen compatibilities. Now, here's a couple of reasons why you might want to play this game. Both, it's got the expansion new content. This is the new area that we just covered a bit ago. They also have enhanced visuals, obviously optimized for the PS5. And then you'll have engaging gameplay, as people really seem to enjoy this game, combining open world exploration and dynamic combat mechanics. Now, here's a few reasons that you might want to skip out on this release. Both the time investment as well as the complex mechanics that the game offers, but mainly the genre as well as the big one, which is the gacha system mechanics that they use for monetization. Everybody's going to have their own kind of line in the sand. For me, gambling mechanics is something that is a major turnoff and something that I never want to expose my kids to. But you do you, as long as you know what you're getting into. Hopefully, if you do jump into Wuthering Waves, that you have fun with it. Now, moving on to January 10th, we have our first remaster of the year with Freedom Wars Remastered. This is going to be the acclaimed PS Vita title. Freedom Wars returns as a remastered edition for the PS4, PS5, PC, and Nintendo Switch. This version is going to boast both upgraded visuals, refined controls, and a revitalized multiplayer mode, bringing in the dystopian action RPG to a broader audience. Some reasons to play, obviously the graphics and the controls. You're going to also have the addition of the multiplayer modes, which will help increase your replayability. Reason to skip, well, maybe the missions are a little bit too repetitive. You might not find the structure of them really engaging. It has a niche appeal, so if you're not really into niche style games, if you're not into this kind of style, well, it's okay. That's just something that you know now. And then you obviously, if you've played this before, maybe you might want to skip it out because of previous experience. Obviously, if you played the original extensively, I would also assume this might be a reason to play this one as well. So the choice is up to you. But now we're moving forward into the month, January 16th, halfway through January already. Donkey Kong Country Returns HD is making its way, swinging onto the Nintendo Switch. Hopefully we're going to get some Nintendo Switch 2 news very soon. Donkey Kong Country Returns breathes new lives into this beloved platformer. Players can experience high-definition graphics, improved frame rates, and the addition of cooperative multiplayer online, both enhancing the classic jungle adventure. Some reasons to play: nostalgia factor, obviously, beloved Nintendo classic with modern enhancements, co-op multiplayer, obviously with playing with your friends locally, or in this case also online. Seems I've been enjoying that Nintendo is starting to get into that online space. I'm hoping that with Switch 2 we see them further enhance that entire ecosystem. Anyway, challenging levels. Donkey Kong, I think Country as a franchise has been one of the more challenging platformers that Nintendo tends to offer, so it's going to be as for those of you out there seeking a challenge. Some reason to skip, obviously, it's bringing in that old school difficulty, so it's a double-edged sword. You might like it, you might not, but just be aware of it. You have limited new content, and this is just a big visual upgrade with a few minor features tacked on, and then you obviously have platform preference, as this is Nintendo Switch and Switch. There's no other way to play a Nintendo game without a Switch. But now if you just hold out for one day, you have January 17th, Tales of Graces Remastered is releasing. So this is a JRPG fan moment. The Tales series is one of my favorite series that I have played throughout my youth and into my adult life. The nice thing about Tales in this case, especially when we're just leaving the Donkey Kong Country Remastered, this is going to be released on multiple platforms, so most likely you're going to have the ability to jump into this one. This edition is going to feature polished graphics, reimagined audio, quality of life, various improvements, making it the definitive way to experience all of this game's journey. A couple reasons to play: you have the engaging storyline, you have improved visuals, and you have the dynamic combat system leading the charge. Reasons to skip: lengthy campaign, traditional JRPG mechanics, and minimal new content. So if you've already played this back in the day and you're not necessarily looking at rediving into it, it's not going to offer a much bigger experience outside of the improved visuals and audio changes overall. Now, on the same day, if you're looking for another, in a way, remaster, you have Dynasty Warriors Origins. And this is a fresh take on the iconic series, delving into untold stories with revamped combat systems and enriched character development. Players can immerse themselves in this historical narrative with modern gameplay enhancements. And the reason I kind of hesitate with the remaster aspect of it is it's not labeled as a remaster, but obviously they're kind of doing that fresh pass on the game in and of itself. I know I've got diehard friends that are just diehard about the Dynasty Warriors games. And so some reasons that you might want to play: new storylines, revamped combat, and character development lead the charge here. Reasons to skip: the gameplay can be very repetitive, historical setting might not necessarily appeal to you, as well as franchise fatigue. If you've been playing every Dynasty Warriors that's out there, well, tip of the hat to you, way to go. But I think that might be an interesting point. Positive or negative, you let me know if you're going to pick that one up here in January. Now from here, January 23rd, we get into Star Wars Episode 1 Jedi Power Battles Remastered. Relive the action-packed excitement in Jedi Power Battles with this remastered version. This is going to be updated for modern consoles. It brings new playable characters, smoother controls, enhanced visuals, while retaining the classic arcade-style combat that fans have come to love. A couple reasons you might want to play this: you got the Star Wars nostalgia going on, even though we've seen that nostalgia kind of dip down over the course of the last several years due to the way that Disney's handled the franchise. So I don't know if you're diehard Star Wars, but it feels like that community is splintering hard right now. You also have new playable characters that they're adding into it, modern enhancements. This is improved controls, updated visuals, going to make it all more accessible for new and returning players. Couple of reasons to skip: you have simplistic gameplay, might feel repetitive or shallow compared to other modern action games. You also have the old school difficulty. This could be a positive or a negative depending on what kind of gamer that you are. It's also not a full remake. Graphics and mechanics are still updated, but it's still rooted in its older design philosophy. Then on the 23rd, one of the games that I am most excited about, and I need to finish Remake before it happens, because January 23rd also is releasing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth for PC. This is one of 2024's most critically acclaimed games. 7 Rebirth is interesting because people say that it's a great initial playthrough, but not really great with a repeated playthroughs, and that's why the Game of the Year, or the RPG of the Year, went to Metaphor, which was really exciting to see. Now, obviously, the fact that it makes its way to PC with support for ultra high resolutions and community modding, PC players can expect a breathtaking experience, and I know I'm going to be looking forward to picking this up here as well. A couple reasons to play: I'm a Final Fantasy fan, so there we go. Stunning graphics. The modding community is going to be interesting, as Square has asked that they please keep the mods tasteful. We're going to see how that plays out. And then you also have the acclaimed storytelling, reliving that Final Fantasy VII narrative, one of which, when stepping into Remake, I'm absolutely hopeful that we'll see this battle system make its way into future Final Fantasy titles. Then on the 27th, we have Star Wars Hunters. This is PC Early Access, where this is dropping. Previously exclusive to Switch and mobile, Star Wars Hunters now enters Early Access on PC, bringing the fast-paced 4v4 arena combat to a broader audience. This has got cross progression, so you can take your progress anywhere. Some reasons that you might want to check this one out: cross-platform play. For me, that's a huge win for games. Arena-based combat, perfect for short action-packed matches. The free-to-play model, easily jump in without any upfront cost. That can also be a negative, so you might want to also be very well aware of a free-to-play model, because that can mean reasons to skip. Microtransactions are obviously going to be there. Cosmetic and progression items might feel pay to win. Casual appeal, it's not as deep as other competitive games, and it's got limited content. Early access may have a fewer maps and characters than the full release. Going to January 27, 2025, Virtua Fighter 5 Revo, the legendary fighting series, is making its return with Virtua Fighter 5 Revo, featuring enhanced visuals, refined mechanics, and modernized matchmaking. And this is a love letter to the fans of the franchise. I was really excited. I cannot wait. I think this is going to be fun to see, and I can't wait to see how we can all explore this. I'm a huge fighting fan, even though I never really take the time to sit down and actually play fighting games anymore. But I guess that's just the nature of getting older. But speaking of that, we're almost done with our month of January here, January 30th. Marvel's Spider-Man 2 for PC is releasing. This is Spider-Man 2 lands on PC, bringing its stunning visuals, engaging story, fast-paced gameplay to a new audience with ray tracing and ultra settings. It's the ultimate way to experience this superhero epic. Couple reasons to play might be obviously the next gen of graphics, the engaging story, and the modding potential here with the game itself. Reasons to skip, though: hardware demands, superhero burnout, genre preference, and I'm going to add that there has been, the Sweet Baby Inc. kiss of death that was associated with this game. So whether you're into quote-unquote woke games or not, if you don't want them, you might want to avoid Spider-Man 2. If you do want them, you might want to pick up Spider-Man 2 to vote your your cultural war preference out there in the world. Then also on January 30th, Sniper Elite Renaissance. This has got take the franchising to new heights, introducing larger maps, more customization weapons, and an expanded stealth system. Play as an underground and resistance fighter during World War II. A couple reasons to play: expanded maps, realistic sniping mechanics, and immersive storytelling, as well as reasons to skip: slower gameplay, difficulty spikes, and obviously the genre appeal. January 2025 is packed with incredible games for every type of game and player. Now, speaking of myself personally, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, as considering how long people have told me that game is, with the like 60, 70, 80 hours, I think that could be a game that could easily take up the first half of my year. But you plan your time and your money accordingly. But all in all, I think it's going to be a pretty solid month. February is going to also be a jam-packed month as well. So I'd love to know, what titles out of this list are you most excited for? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and hit that bell button for even more gaming news, reviews, and commentary. Anyway, as we like to wrap up here with our videos, welcome to the message of hope. Life can often feel like a mountain too steep to climb, especially when you're struggling with addiction, depression, mental health challenges. The weight of it all might seem unbearable, and the journey ahead can feel overwhelming. But here's the truth: you're not alone. I've been there. You've been there. Like, there are so many of us that have gone through this. The lie is that you are alone. The truth is that you're absolutely not alone on this journey. While the climb might feel hard, there is strength within you to take this one step at a time. With every step, you are moving closer to the healing and being whole and being free. For those feeling trapped in addiction, remember, it doesn't really define who you are. It's just something that you're experiencing. It's not who you were destined to be. You have the power to break free, to rewrite your story. Lean in on others, friends, family, support groups. Don't hesitate to seek out professional help. In moments when the struggle might feel insurmountable, recall the words from Scripture that says, "I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me," from Philippians 4:13. Even when it feels impossible, there is hope and strength waiting to be discovered. If you're battling depression or various different mental health challenges, it's okay not to be okay. It's brave to acknowledge your pain, and it's even braver to seek help that you need. Healing isn't going to be linear. The progress might feel slow, but every effort truly matters. Jesus reminds us this. He reminds us of our worth when he says that are not 5 sparrows sold for 2 pennies, yet not one of them is forgotten by God. Indeed, the very hairs of your head are numbered. Don't be afraid. You are worth more than many sparrows. This comes from Luke chapter 12, verse 6 and 7. Now, even in your darkest moments, you are deeply loved and cared for. Finally, remember your journey is also unique, and there is no timeline for healing. Celebrate small victories and trust that brighter days lie ahead. Surround yourself with positive people, faith-based people, people who believe in you and that you trust. You are stronger than you realize, and every day it's a new opportunity to move forward. And as the poet Rumi once wrote, the wound is the place where light can enter you. Your struggles, as painful as they are, can become the foundation of your growth and transformation. You are not alone. You are not forgotten. There is always hope, and it starts with believing that you are worthy of love, healing, and joy. So keep going. You're stronger than you think, and your best days are still ahead. Thank you, everybody, for joining me, especially if you hung out for the message of hope. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that I'll get to see you in future videos here in 2025. God bless you. Happy New Year, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video. But until then, take care.